Brilliant. So guys, we'll just get ourselves nice and comfortable. We'll start in a seated position. So I like, as always, I know you're kind of used to this narrative, but I always like to sit up on a little bit of a height. The way that my pelvis is shaped, I definitely wouldn't be able to balance it straight onto the floor. So it's nice to have a cushion. And again, like day to day, you can find that your body will be different. So sometimes a little flat block is nice for me. Today I needed a little bit more height, so I'm up on a bolster. So it's just whatever really works for you to be able to find that comfort and that balance place in your pelvis to get started when we sit. So when you've got that balance, then it's more comfortable for you to extend through the spine. And again, it just really supports that natural curvature of the spine, which is really lovely. Take a little sense into your shoulders, see if you can soften them down a little bit. Again, sometimes when we go to lengthen our spine, we can kind of pull up our shoulders. So like let those shoulders just soften down. And if you kind of imagine like almost a little nod to the chin, your throat is kind of moving back, and it's like you have a little string holding your skull toward the ceiling. You can allow your hands to just land wherever feels most comfortable for you. And if it feels good for you to gently close down your eyes, in our yoga practice, that's always an invitation. In my own practice, actually, I nearly do all of it with my eyes closed these days. It's really funny how we kind of go through different phases. So just allowing yourself to arrive to our practice this evening and just naturally noticing the gentle movement of your body with your breath as you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. With each breath, just allowing yourself to settle into your seat a little more. And if it feels good for you to deepen your breath, allowing your belly to move out into the room in front of you, and then gently drawing the belly back in as you exhale. So just bringing that physical movement to help you with that exchange of breath. So we're seeking to ensure that our exhale is just as deep as our inhale, because that full expulsion of air from the lungs is just so beneficial, allowing then the next breath to fully oxygenate your cells. Bring that lovely movement of prana, life force energy through your body. Now you can stay in stillness here if you wish, or I'm just going to gently guide you through some soft exercises to open the neck first. If you'd like to do those, taking a nice deep inhale with your gaze forward, you can keep those eyes closed. And as you exhale, keeping your chin at the same height as you gently release over your left shoulder, nice and slowly. You're just gently releasing your gaze over your left shoulder. That's bringing that lovely little stretch into the right side of your neck. Nice, full rounded breath here. In through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose, and as you exhale, gently release back to center, nice and slowly. Another nice big inhale in center, and then as you exhale, again with that lovely gentle movement, keeping your chin at the same height, as you just gently bring your gaze over your right shoulder. And just creating that lovely little stretch into the left side, keeping the shoulders nice and soft. Another deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, gently releasing your gaze back to center. Nice deep inhale and center. And as you exhale, gently release your chin toward your chest, keeping a little length in the front of your neck. So again, we're not just collapsing down the chin. So you feel that lovely little stretch into the back of your neck. And if you imagine you're tracing a semicircle with your nose as you gently draw your right ear toward your right shoulder. Again, that'll just give you a lovely stretch into the left side of your neck. Tracing that same line back down to center so your chin is back towards your chest. And then gently releasing to the other side, left ear toward left shoulder. Again, drawing that little semicircle. Gently release back to center. On your next inhale, gently inhaling the gaze up through center and keep a little length in the back of your neck as you gently extend your chin toward the ceiling so you're opening up that throat. Beautiful. Nice deep inhale at the top. And as you exhale, gently release back to center. Inhale and scrunch those shoulders up under your ears. And as you exhale, soften them back down. Inhale and scrunch them up under your ears. And exhale and release. Inhale and scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Exhale and release. We'll just take 3 gentle shoulder rolls forwards. And 3 gentle shoulder rolls back. Delicious. Take our nice little twist, so gently returning to center, taking a nice deep inhale in center. And then as you exhale, bringing your right hand to your left knee and just gently twisting to the left, bringing your gaze over your left shoulder. Just making yourself nice and comfortable. Using your breath here if you wish, that you might find yourself extending on the inhale. And as you exhale, you might soften a little more into your twist. Just sensing into what feels perfect for your body tonight. Another deep inhale here. And as you exhale, gently, gently guide yourself back to center. Settle in center. Take another nice big inhale. And as you exhale, take your left hand to your right knee now. And just gently release that right hand behind you. Again, a lovely little twist to the perfect point for your body. Again, if you wish, lengthening the spine on the inhale and softening into the twist on the exhale. And one more deep inhale here. And as you exhale, make your way back nice and gently to center. We'll just bring a little movement through the body, a little wiggle to the fingers and toes, maybe a little wiggle through the body before we gently make our way down to lying on the mat. So we'll windscreen wiper those legs before we lengthen them out completely. So knees bent and just gently windscreen wiping those knees side to side to allow that lovely little release through the low body. And then when we're ready to release that movement, coming to stillness. So you can keep your knees bent up if you wish. Feet mat with the parts supporting your knees in center. They kind of support each other. or if it's comfortable for you to lie out completely, arms either side of your body, either palms facing inward or up toward the ceiling, allowing your feet to just gently flop to either side and just focusing in on your breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. Taking a little scan of your body, noticing how you're feeling, noticing if there's any particular area that you need to direct any extra care or attention to this evening. If there's any little adjustment you need to make to be more comfortable here, please make it. We're wanting to find comfort as we tap into the breath for just a couple of minutes. Inhaling deeply through the nose, noticing the gentle rise of your belly on the inhale. And then exhaling through the nose, allowing the gentle fall of your belly back toward your spine on the exhale. Adding a count to your breath can be a lovely way to give your monkey mind, something to do so that you don't get distracted when you're having your breath. On your next inhale, you might just notice the count that brings you to the perfect inhale for you. And then simply balance your exhale to that count. Enjoy this balanced breath. The invitation now is to begin to lengthen your exhale. So this exercise we do so often, such a simple way to activate the soothing sensations of the parasympathetic nervous system. So your full deep inhale as before, and then slow your exhale right down as much as is comfortable for you. If it's even one beat longer than your inhale, you're getting the benefits. Take 2 more rounds of this breath where you're focusing on your soothing, slow exhale. And then gently, after the second round, Allow your breath to just gently revert to its most natural and most easeful state. Like we did at the start, just gently scanning your body, noticing how you're feeling, thinking about how you can integrate this conscious breath into your days. Just a few minutes has just gorgeous benefit for body, for mind, for every relationship in your life. The opportunity to be calm and not overreact can be really a powerful side effect of this beautiful breath. If it feels comfortable for you, you can gently blink open your eyes, but you can keep them closed. As I said, for a lot of your practice, particularly as you practice a little bit more, you might find it's quite comfortable to practice with the eyes gently closed. Bring a little wiggle to your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet, until it feels just lovely on an inhale to extend your arms over your head and take a full body stretch. So stretch your fingertips away, your toes toward your face. And as you exhale, softening back down to the mat. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and soften. Inhale and lengthen. And exhale and soften. Gorgeous. Bringing your hands down again, either side of your body. And just gently drawing your feet up and in towards your chest. And just giving yourself a little hug here. Again, I'm all about, I'm all about the simple movements that are going to give us the maximum impact. And this is such a simple one for releasing your low back. The way that we kind of do, so much sitting in cars and at desks and just in the general kind of way we live our lives now, this can be just such like a simple, beautiful reset for your low back. We're just going to take a little bit of movement here. So just really mindfully draw your knees about an inch to the right and then carefully bring them back. And notice the movement through your low back when you do this. About an inch to the left and then gently draw back. And with each round, we're just going to go a little bit further. So 2 inches to the right and back. And again, making sure that we take that time in the center as opposed to just kind of swinging the leg side to side. There's a place for that, of course, but not right now. So again, just moving at your own pace, just gently extending the distance you send your knees each time. And again, just noticing how you're kind of rolling out, like massaging those muscles of the low back. I'm going to take one last round. And then we'll all come back to stillness in center. Again, allow that lovely settling in center. Gently place your left foot to the mat. If you're like me and you still have your sock on, taking off your sock. And then gently drawing the belt around the ball of your right foot. So just below those toes, gently extending that right leg, keeping that lovely softness in the right knee, gentle energy into the belt, gentle energy through your heel, and spread those toes. If your belt is long enough, your elbows to the mat. Again, like sense into your shoulders and see can you soften your shoulders more into the mat. If it's comfortable for you, gently extending your left leg flat to the mat with the left foot making a footprint so that those toes point toward the sky. So legs flat to the mat, toes pointing toward the sky. So as if, imagine you had a wall at the bottom of your mat that you were pressing your foot into. And breathe into this. Just allow the breath to mobilize this gorgeous release through your right lower body. I know we talk about it a lot. Again, the royal we. I know I talk about it a lot, that we hold so much stress and tension in our hips and lower bodies that actually beginning, well, I suppose we're not really beginning our practice. We've done so much already, but we're opening up those hamstrings and giving ourselves that space, that lovely renewal. Take one last deep breath here, and then gently pass both sides of your belt into your right hand. Remember, the most important principle here is that we're keeping that left hip, that left leg stable. So only release the right foot to the right as much as you can while that left leg remains stable. That's where you'll find the quality in the opening. Make sure you have that lovely softness in your right knee, that gentle energy into the right belt, your only belt, but the belt that happens to be in your right hand, and gently passing that lovely energy through your right heel. I'm giddy tonight, lads. Left arm can extend from your body if that feels good. And again, enjoy your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. One last deep breath for yourselves here. And then on your next inhale, just use your breath to gently inhale that right leg nice and slowly back to center. And again, allowing that lovely settling when you're back in center. Pause and pass both sides of your belt into your left hand. Now remember that left leg isn't budging, it's still holding in place here. We have our belt in our left hand. We're just gently drawing the right foot just in line with the left shoulder. So only 3 or 4 inches across midline. Your right femur is descending, gentle bend in that right knee, and energy into that right belt. Right belt, Genie Mac, the belt. And extend your right arm from your body. Enjoy your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. One last deep breath here. And then gently drawing that right leg nice and slowly back to center again, allowing that lovely settling in center. And then gently drawing your right knee in towards the right side of your chest. Release your belt and hold on to that right knee. So again, like the knees into the chest being very good for releasing the low back, going side by side like this, like so, holding your right knee in as you extend your left leg and then switching over is just so good as well. So little tips and tricks to kind of integrate regularly if you ever have those kinds of niggles. Gently beginning to circle the right foot, about 5 times in each direction. And then lengthen through that right leg and allow yourself to just sense into that beautiful release that you have created through your right lower body and that you're going to balance into your left. I always find it just miraculous to do the kind of comparative analysis. My right bum feels really flat. It's really funny. So where do you feel it? Does your right leg feel longer? Does it feel a little bit flatter? Does it feel a little bit looser? Gently draw your feet up your knees bent and draw your left knee in toward the left side of your chest again, removing your sock if you still have it on, like myself, and taking your left belt around the ball of your left foot, just below those toes, lengthening that left leg. Again, that lovely softness in the left knee, gentle energy into the belt, spread those toes, gentle energy through that left heel. Again, elbows to the mat if your belt is long enough and that feels good. Soften into your shoulders. If it feels comfortable for you to extend your right leg fully flat to the mat and make that full footprint with that right foot so those toes are pointed toward the ceiling. Again, you can imagine that you're pressing that right foot into a wall. And let's just breathe in here, in through the nose and out through the nose, allowing our breath to mobilize that gorgeous release on the left side. One last beautiful deep breath here. And then we'll pass the left belt into the left hand. Again, remember holding that right hip, that right leg solid as you gently release that left leg nice and slowly to the left, only as much as is comfortable. And we'll have that right hip, right leg stable to the mat. That beautiful opening, gentle energy through that heel. If it's comfortable for you, you can extend your right arm from the body and just sensing into that gentle energy into the belt, that gentle energy through that left heel, and breathing in and out. Oh, I'm cracking myself up tonight, lads. Oh, gosh. One last deep breath here. And then use your next inhale to gently inhale that left leg nice and slowly back to center. And pause and settle in center there. And then again, keeping that right leg exactly as it is, taking the belt into the right hand and just gently drawing your left foot just 3 to 4 inches across midline in line with your right shoulder. Femur gently extending into the mat, soft knee, gentle energy into the belt. And again, if it's comfortable, you can extend that left arm from your body, but just sensing into what feels right for you tonight. Last deep breath here. And then nice and slowly draw that left leg back to center, settle in center. Draw that left knee in, release your belt. Hold on to that left knee, continue to extend through that right leg and just breathe. In through the nose and out through the nose. Gently circling that left foot, about 5 times in each direction. And then lengthening that left leg fully flat to the mat and just sensing into that gorgeous release that you have created. Gently drawing those knees up, feet flat to the mat, feet about hip width apart, and we're just going to do our lovely gentle hip opener. Taking your right ankle over your left knee. Again, you can keep your left foot pressing into the mat and just gently guide your right knee away if that's where you're feeling comfortable tonight. Or if you have space to bring that left leg to tabletop, you can either bring your hands in behind that left thigh or use your belt if you need a little bit more length. And then make sure you have your sit bones, backs of your shoulders, back of your head to the mat. Keep those feet making full footprints. So that just kind of keeps the muscle energy alive in your legs. And then gently draw your left knee towards you and guide your right knee away until you just feel that lovely little opening in your right hip. And then just settle in, breathe into it. In through the nose and out through the nose. One last deep breath into that right hip. And then gently, gently release that left foot nice and slowly to the mat. Release that right foot. Allow that lovely energy to settle in your hip. And then we'll take that left ankle over the right knee. Again, you can keep that right foot pressing in and just gently guide your left knee away. Or if you have space, bringing that right leg to tabletop, and you can loop those hands in behind that right thigh, or you can use your belt and then draw your back of your head, backs of your shoulders, back of the sit bones, back to the mat. Full footprints with those feet. Gently draw your right knee towards you, left knee away. That lovely opening into the left hip this time. And breathe into it. Breathe into that space that you're creating. Again, this gorgeous release of where we hold such physical tension. One last deep breath into that left hip. And then gently, gently release your right foot nice and slowly to the mat. Release your left foot to the mat. And just sense into that beautiful space. Gorgeous. We're going to move into happy baby pose. So we'll draw those knees wide, so as if they're coming toward our armpits. Gently guide your hands in between your legs. Grab the outside of your feet, so the baby toe edges of your feet, and then gently draw the soles of the feet toward the ceiling as you allow the knees to descend toward the mat. Again, looking for your sit bones to descend toward the mat. like for so many of us, that's like almost an impossibility. You can't imagine ever having your sit bones fully to the mat. You can't imagine the knees being any closer to the mat. Just breathing. A gorgeous opening into our hips. Beautiful. In through the nose and out through the nose. 2 more full rounds of breath here. And then we're going to take that lovely transition into reclined cobbler's pose. We won't hold them up this evening. We'll just guide ourselves down. So taking the soles of your feet together, and you can use your hands to support your legs as they gently come down toward the mat to come to reclined cobbler's pose. So the soles of your feet together, the baby toe edges of your feet on the mat, your right knee out to the right, your left knee out to the left. And if it's comfortable for you, you can take your arms into cactus arms or I surrender arms, or you can have your arms just gently resting on your belly, whatever feels just right. One last deep breath here, and then gently draw your hands to your legs and guide your legs back up to center. We've done gorgeous work there on the low body. We'll take the hands either side of the body and make our way to our hands and knees. Now, we missed our sleepy practice this week, so I'm going to suggest that we do bring the insteps into the mat. This is something that we always do in our sleepy practice. And when we're at the top of our cat pose, we can gently release the bum toward the heels, which is just lovely. So just taking your time to set up, making sure that you've got that lovely stacking and alignment. If you can take a little internal rotation of the forearms so that you're kind of putting most pressure into your index knuckle of your hand. So you don't want too much pressure on the heels of your hands. And we'll just begin to move with our breath. So as you exhale, you'll draw your chin towards your chest, curl your spine towards the ceiling. And if it's comfortable for you, you can gently release the bum towards the heels. Inhale back through center. And then allow yourself to release into dog, belly toward the mat, heart opens forward, gaze forward. Gorgeous. So moving on your own breath. Just creating this beautiful lengthen to the spine. Gorgeous decompression at the end of the day. I've had so many people feed back to me that they feel taller since they started doing yoga with me. And it's interesting because it's these kinds of things that, you know, give us that space, that room to feel the full benefit of our entire body. In that kind of sedentary way that we live can have that really compressing effect. Ooh, there goes my there goes my speaker. So we'll just do one more round. And then come back to a neutral position in your hands and knees, in your hands and knees, on your hands and knees. And we're going to do a nice lizard lunge. So you're going to step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. If you need a couple of goes, that's perfect. Just take your time. You can gently guide your right hand to the top of your right knee. Feel that lovely connection through the right sole of the foot. If you're feeling up to it, you can take that left leg back a little bit. That gives you just a little deeper opening into the groin. And you might like to take your left hand forward by a handprint to the side and just externally rotate it. So pointing those left fingers out to the left, which means that left thumb is pointing forward. It just gives you a bit more space. And we'll just breathe into the lizard lunge. In through the nose and out through the nose. If it feels comfortable for you, you might like to just kind of gently rock forward and back in your lizard lunge. But if you prefer to stay in stillness, that's absolutely perfect too. Just sensing into what feels just right. If you have taken that little bit of movement into your lunge, just gently preparing to come back to stillness. And we're going to return that left hand to its traditional hand and knees positioning. Draw the bum back so you can release your right leg back. And we're just going to take some lovely hip circles here to just release after that lizard lunge. So maybe about 3 in each direction. Just that should feel really nice after the lizard lunge. Gorgeous. Coming back to stillness as we prepare to lizard lunge on the other side. So taking your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Again, you can take that left hand to the top of the left knee to really feel that lovely deep connection through the left sole of the foot. Take that hand back down, draw that right leg back if that feels good and plug in that instep. Again, that's deepening the opening into your groin. Taking that right hand forward and to the side and just gently twisting it, like so that your right fingers point to the right, your right thumb is pointing forward. And we will breathe into our lizard lunge and really enjoy that breath. Beautiful opening you're creating. Now, again, the invitation is to stay still if you wish, or if you'd like to bring a little bit of movement back and forth into your lizard lunge, that's most welcome. Again, whatever feels just lovely. I have a teacher that uses the phrase, I'm just the guide, you're the boss. So really just deciding everything that I suggest to you is an invitation. And you're the boss as to what way you'd like to practice. Now, if you integrated that movement, gently releasing that movement now, bringing that right hand back to that traditional positioning, drawing your bum back so you can take that left knee back. We're coming back to our hands and knees. And again, taking those lovely hip circles. So that's a lovely release after the lizard lunge. And actually, do you know what? Before we move on, we're going to do a nice child's pose as well, just for a little bit of extra care and attention of ourselves this evening. So come back to stillness in your hands and knees, on your hands and knees, and draw your knees mat width apart. Bring your big toes together and gently descend your bum towards your heels. We'll keep those hands reaching out front. So as you're reaching those arms forward, those sit bones are moving back. creating this gorgeous space in your side body. And breathe deeply into that space. And now that you've established that space, let's bring the fists one on top of the other to create a lovely little pillow for your forehead. And enjoy your breath. With each breath, allowing yourself release deeper into this beautifully restorative child's pose. Incidentally, another lovely one for the low back, should you have any niggles there. Gorgeous. Gently release the forehead and just begin to walk yourself back up. And we're going to just take ourselves nice and slowly to standing. Take off my cardigan. Started to warm up now. So we're going to come to our Tadasana pose, our mountain pose. So we've all practiced this a good bit with me. So we did a little bit on balance last week. And this is kind of a nice little balance flow. So we're talking real basics. Look, this is our fundamentals class. This is where we're trying to lay those foundations for how we just live and move and breathe better, right? So we're finding our lovely Tadasana, that lovely neutrality. Again, those soft shoulders, that beautiful length in the spine. And what we're going to do waves here. As we inhale, we're going to open up the arms and come up onto the tippy toes. Notice how that feels. You might find yourself kind of wobbling a bit, whoop, like me. And as you exhale, gently draw the arms back down and place those feet firmly into the ground. We'll do that 3 times. Inhale, up onto the tippy toes. Whoop. If you have a wobble, have a laugh. Exhale and release. Inhale and lengthen up. Exhale and release. Feel the joy and support when you come onto your full feet after that. Now we're going to do our lovely shoulder opener, you know, the one where we hug ourselves. So again, now I'm choosing to do this in Tadasana. If you want to do your footwork and sit down onto your heels, you're most welcome to do that. But I'm happy in Tadasana today. So we'll inhale the arms nice and wide. As you exhale, draw your right hand over your left and bring your arms so you're giving yourself a little hug. Again, just giving yourself a little sway side to side if that feels good. Beautiful, lovely hug. And gently open up the arms again. Release down by your sides. We'll maybe roll those shoulders back 3 times. Roll them forward 3 times. And this time as we inhale, we'll draw the arms up. And as we exhale, drawing your left arm over your right. And again, taking those hands onto the shoulder blades and just giving yourself that lovely little hug, opening up those shoulders. Now we are going to do one of my favorite poses for our shoulders next. So gently releasing the arms out and down by your sides. So we're going to do our arm swings. So again, if you're minding your shoulders, just go gently with this. But I really love this for the bit of crack in it as much as anything, but I always feel just really lovely and loose after it. So keeping your shoulders nice and soft, again, we're established in our Tadasana. We'll inhale the arms up with the wrists toward the ceiling, again, like we're puppets. And we're going to hold the arms here. So again, your shoulders are soft down your back. And breathe in here. We're going to be here for about a minute, just creating that tiredness into the arms That will allow us to really activate the active versus passive movement. Continue to breathe, breathe, breathe. And release. We'll pull them up again. You don't need to hold them up as long this time. And release. You're just letting them drop. You're not having to physically do anything. Inhale them up. And release. This time we're going to inhale them out. And allow them to just kind of gently drop through center. Inhale them out. And gently drop through center. Inhale out. And gently drop through center. So we're going to inhale them in. And then allow them to just flop out. Inhale in. And allow them to flop out. Inhale in. And allow them to flop out. Now, sometimes people can get really like all up in their heads about this next bit. Like, do whatever feels right. Once you're kind of continuing to move, it's great. But just see if you can keep up with the kind of movements I'm doing. So we'll go up, we'll go out, we'll go in, and just allow yourself to really settle into it and enjoy. So up, in, out, 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 faster, up, in, out, up, in, out, up, in, out, last one, up, in, out, and release. Oh, that's just lovely. Just give yourself those lovely little rolls of your shoulders. Gorgeous. So we're going to come to the top of our mats. We're just going to do one salute, and we're on the way out, lads. I don't know where the time goes in this class. This is the longest class, and it just seems to go just like lightning. So at the top of your mat, again, finding that lovely Tadasana, that beautiful length in the tailbone. Just going to take a nice, slow salute. Inhaling the arms up, shoulders soft, gently gaze to the ceiling. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale to half lift, extending the crown of your head. Exhale and fold. Inhale your right foot to the back of the mat. Allow your pelvis to settle, and then plug those hands in as we bring the left foot back for downward facing dog. Inhale and float the heels as you come to forward board pose, plank pose, pushing that floor away. You can bring your knees to the mat if you wish. As you exhale forward and down to love the ground. You inhale, lifting the heart for Cobra pose, drawing the throat back. And we'll turn over those toes and lift those hips toward the ceiling for downward facing dog. Now from here, we're going to gently lift the right foot toward the ceiling for three-legged dog. And we're going to make the transition to pigeon pose. So gently drawing that right knee into the right wrist, allowing your right calf to just cross your body, that gentle plugging in of the right baby toe edge of the foot. And draw that left leg back a little bit if that feels comfortable, and plug in that instep. We want to keep that lovely balance in the pelvis, so you're not kind of cocking up your right hip. Come on to your tented fingers, sense into that beautiful length in your spine. And if you have a little bit more space here, on your next exhale, fold forward and come down onto your forearms. Now you can stay high in your pigeon. That's gorgeous too. If you're low, make sure you're keeping that lovely neutral length in your spine and breathing into that right hip. Beautiful. 2 more deep breaths into that right hip. And then if you came low, coming back to your hands, gently turning over the toes of your left foot so that you can lift up and back to come back to downward facing dog. And leading with your right foot, you can step or walk to the front of the mat to come back to forward fold again. Inhale for half lift. Exhale, fold. Plug your feet, zip your legs as you inhale and root and rise. And bring those hands down through center. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up, shoulders soft, gaze to the ceiling. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half lift. Extend that crown of the head. Exhale, fold. Inhale that left foot to the back of the mat. Allow that pelvis to settle. And then plug those hands as you release that right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale and float those heels as you come forward for forward board pose. But this time we're going to go into upward facing dog, gently releasing the pelvis toward the mat, opening up your heart, throat back, and then on your next exhale, gently drawing your belly button up and back for downward facing dog. This time lifting your left foot for three-legged dog on the left side and making that transition to pigeon pose. So drawing your left knee towards your left wrist, allowing that left calf to cross the body. Left foot lands on baby toe edge. Gently drawing that right leg back if that feels comfortable, plugging in that instep. Keeping that lovely balance into that left hip. Coming high onto your tented fingers and feeling that beautiful length in the spine. If you have space, as you exhale, gently folding forward onto your forearms. And again, having that lovely length in your spine. That beautiful neutrality as you breathe deeply into that left hip. One last deep breath here. And then if you came low in your pigeon, gently returning to your hands first, turning over the toes of that right foot, lifting that knee and drawing yourself up and back for downward facing dog. Again, we can lead with the left foot this time to step or walk to the front of the mat to find ourselves in forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plug those feet, zip those legs as we inhale and root to rise. And bring those hands through center. Gorgeous. Just going to take another sip of water before we come down to the mats. So we're on our way down to the mats. We're going to be doing our bridge pose, our twist, and then it is Shavasana. So coming to lying with your back on the mat. Again, we always take our time with our setup because that's what's keeping us safe in our practice and building those solid foundations. So drawing your feet just slightly wider than hip width apart, like relatively close to you. If you kind of reach down, you could touch your heels. Plug your upper arms, the backs of your shoulders, the back of your head, but most importantly, plug through your feet as you inhale those hips toward the ceiling, to whatever point feels good for your practice this evening. We want to really focus on the breath here, seeing if you can breathe all the way into your back body. I know you've probably all heard me tell this story before, but one of the teachers that I practice with, he's based in the US. He used to come over to Waterford. He had COVID quite early on, and he swears that this pose was fundamental to restoring his respiratory system afterward. Take one last deep inhale here, and as you exhale, release vertebra by vertebra to the mat, and just feel that glorious support of the ground beneath you. We'll gently walk those feet mat width apart and allow both knees over to the right. Bring the gaze over the left shoulder. If it's comfortable, you can bring your arms into I surrender arms, cactus arms. Or you can just have them resting by your sides or down on your belly. Again, finding whatever feels just perfect for your final twist of your practice tonight. Or whatever time you're doing the practice, if you're doing the recording. On your next inhale, gently drawing everything nice and slowly back to center. As always, allowing that lovely settling in center before gently releasing both knees to the left and bringing your gaze over your right shoulder now. And again, hands in cactus arms or down by your sides or on your tummy, whatever feels just right for you. Enjoy your breath. One last deep breath here. And then gently, gently draw everything back to center. Allow that lovely settling in center. Grab whatever you need for Shavasana. So popping your socks back on, maybe a blanket or a jumper or your cardigan, whatever feels just lovely for you. And then come back to the mat for Shavasana. So you might like to extend your body nice and long. Your arms either side of your body, either palms facing inward or up towards the sky. Just allowing yourself to settle in. And taking a few moments to scan your body. Notice if there's any adjustment that you need to make to be even more comfortable here. When you've found that place of comfort and stillness, gently closing down your eyes. Watching the gentle rise and fall of your breath. And allow yourself to return to that beautiful, soothing practice of simply extending your exhale, of slowing your exhale right down. For the next few minutes, rotating your awareness around your body to welcome the benefits of your practice. The benefits of your practice that are integrating deeply in this most important time at the end of our practice, our Shavasana. Gently guide your awareness through your entire right leg, from your right foot, through your right calf, to the very top of your right thigh. As you allow your right leg, your entire right leg, to soften, release, and relax. Gently journeying to your left foot, and guiding your awareness through your entire left leg now, from your left foot, through your left calf, all the way to the top of your left thigh, your entire left leg. Soften, release, relax. Journey to your pelvis. Feel how deeply the ground supports you when you soften, release, relax. Through the muscles of your tummy, across your lower back body, muscles across your chest and the backs of your shoulders, your entire torso. Soften, release, relax. Melt into your mat. From your right shoulder, begin to journey through your entire right arm, your upper arm, your forearm, all the way into your right hand, your entire right arm. Soften, release, relax. To your left hand now, and gently journeying that beautiful awareness through your entire left arm now, your forearm, your upper arm, all the way to your left shoulder, your entire left arm. Soften, release, relax. Through the muscles of your neck, across your jaw, your tongue. Soften, release, muscles around your mouth, all those little muscles into your ears, muscles around your eyes, your forehead, your scalp. Every last muscle in your body now. release, relax. Melt into your mat. With each breath, allowing yourself to release a little more, knowing that all that's left for you to do is reap the rewards of your practice. With deepening breath, introducing a little movement to fingers and toes, hands and feet, until it feels just right to gently roll over to your right, using your hands as a pillow. Pausing here for a nice deep breath. And then gently assisting yourself back to a seated position, keeping your eyes gently closed. Drawing your hands together in front of your heart. Bowing your head to your own heart, each other's heart, and the eternal heart. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. Namaste.